It's a beautiful day to be in the band, a beautiful day to make music. Would you be in mine? Could you be in mine? It's a beautiful day to be in the band, a beautiful day to make music. Would you be in mine? Could you be in mine? I have always wanted to have a band with folks like you. I've always wanted to be in the bedroom and learn with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. And since we're together, we might as well play. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be in my band? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be in my band? My name's Mr. Loudon, and I'm the band director at the middle school. I hope that you're considering joining the band next year, and I wanted to take the opportunity today to show you some of the instruments you can learn to play in band class. The flute is one of the smallest instruments in the band, so it plays some of the highest notes. We make a sound on the flute by blowing across this hole here, which we call the tone hole. The typical range of the flute sounds like this. A low note on the flute sounds like this. And a high note on the flute sounds like this. Every tune I play for you today is going to be something that you're going to learn in band class, no matter what instrument you play. I'm going to start with a tune that my students love to play, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. In a typical year, we have somewhere from 6 to 10 students who start learning to play the flute. Another of the smallest instruments in the band that plays some of the highest notes is the clarinet. We make a sound on the clarinet by vibrating this little piece of wood called the reed. The reed sits up against the mouthpiece, and when we blow across it, it vibrates, creating sound. The typical range of the clarinet sounds like this. The clarinet can play very low, pretty high, and occasionally even as high as the flute. One of the tunes my students love to play on clarinet is called Polly Wolly Doodle. Because the clarinet is fairly soft, we have a lot of people that usually start on it. In a typical year, around 15 new students will start learning to play the clarinet. Another instrument that uses a reed to make sound, just like the clarinet, is the alto saxophone. The typical range on the alto saxophone sounds like this. The 'cause the clarinet is fairly soft, we have a lot of people that usually start on it. In a typical year, around 15 new students will start learning to play the clarinet. Another instrument that uses a reed to make sound, just like the clarinet, is the alto saxophone. The typical range on the alto saxophone sounds like this. on the alto saxophone sounds like this. And a high note sounds like this. A tune that my students love to play is America. I'm going to play it for you now on the alto saxophone. Because the alto saxophone is a fairly loud instrument, we usually have somewhere between 5 and 6 people each year that starts learning to play alto saxophone. The cornet, which is what we learn as beginners rather than its counterpart, the trumpet, is one of many brass instruments in the band. To make a sound on the brass instruments, we buzz our lips together like this. When we take that buzz and put it into the mouthpiece, we get this sound. The typical range of the cornet sounds like this. A low note on the cornet sounds like this. And a high note on the cornet sounds like this. One of the tunes that my students love to play is called Are You Sleeping? I'm going to play it for you now on cornet. Start around 10 new students playing the cornet. Another one of the brass instruments in the band is the trombone. We make sound on the trombone the same way we do on the cornet, by buzzing our lips together. But because the mouthpiece and the instrument are much larger than the cornet, the sound is much lower. The typical range on the trombone sounds like this. A low note on the trombone sounds like this. And a high note on the trombone sounds like this. One of the songs that my students love to play is Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I'm going to show you that one on the trombone. We usually have somewhere between 6 and 8 players who start each year learning to play the trombone. Another brass instrument in the band is the euphonium, which is sometimes called the baritone. The mouthpiece on the euphonium and the trombone is the same size, and it plays in the same typical range as the trombone. The difference between the euphonium and the trombone is in the way it changes notes. The euphonium uses valves just like the cornet. The trombone uses a slide. I'm going to play for you a tune that my students enjoy called Auld Lang Syne. This tune is what you typically hear on New Year's Eve. rather loud, we usually only have 2 or 3 people each year who start learning to play the euphonium. Another brass instrument in the band is called the French horn. The mouthpiece size on the French horn is similar to the mouthpiece size of the cornet, but because the French horn has more tubing, it can play lower than the cornet. Typical range on the French horn sounds like this. A low note on the French horn sounds like this. And a high note on the French horn sounds like this. One of the tunes my students love to play is Little Liza Jane. I'm going to play that one for you on the French horn. Have 2 or 3 people each year start to learn to play the French horn. The final brass instrument in the band is the tuba. The tuba is the largest instrument in the band, plays the lowest notes. Typical range on the tuba sounds like this. A low note on tuba sounds like this. And a high note on tuba sounds like this. One of the tunes my students like to play is called Shoe Fly. I'm going to play that one for you on tuba. We usually have at least 2 people play the tuba, sometimes 3 each year. The final role a student can have in band is to play percussion. Percussion, for us in the beginning, means the drum pad and also the bell kit. The bell kit looks like a piano, and it's what percussionists learn to play melodies like the other instruments, like this. We usually have 3 to 4 students each year who start learning to play percussion. Being in the band is about more than just learning to play an instrument. Band class is a place where we can develop our ability to be patient, work hard, understand our classmates, and create a healthy definition of success for both us as individuals and as a team. If you're interested in learning how to play an instrument and become a better person along the way, I hope you'll sign up for band. I would be honored to be a part of your journey through the middle school and beyond. If you've got questions, ask your music teachers or reach out to me, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. I hope to see you next year.